I'm finally back. I'm gonna be doing some Sadhguru reaction videos. Let's get into it. Present practice. What is vibing? This is Vish, and today I'll be responding to Sadhguru's video on Do you know who you really are? I did take a little break with uploading reaction videos, and that was because I was in New York, and I did a bunch of cool interview videos, so stay tuned for that. Also, I've been on this little creative adventure, and we'll be soon coming out with some very interesting effects to these videos, and I have a cool vision, so long story short, stay tuned for that as well. Now you might be wondering, where am I filming from? This is my backyard, Austin, Texas. And I'm finally shooting out here with the video, and it's mainly because I got this new mic, which you've probably seen in my other videos. And it really has allowed for a lot of flexibility with regards to filming wherever, because initially the sound quality was one major concern. So now that that's solved, I'm super excited to give you all the highest quality of video. Now before we start, I would love to hear what you think of who you are in the comments down below. Let's jump into it.
Does soul exist?
Soul?
Yes.
Whose soul?
And one more. What is the purpose of life?
You're just asking very big questions without understanding the significance of the question. See, when you ask, does soul exist, you're not talking about an academic subject. You're asking, what is the nature of who I am? Or you're saying, I don't know a damn thing about myself, please tell me. Yes? Isn't it? You're asking this very easily because you have not been touched by the pain of ignorance, the pain of not knowing who you are. It has not torn you apart. If it really touches you that you're just living here, doing all kinds of nonsense without knowing the ABC of who you are, it should be very painful, isn't it? That pain has not yet touched you. You're mouthing questions, it's not sunk deep enough. So every day you must remind yourself, at least spend 10 minutes in the morning, just see what an utter idiot you are. You don't know anything about yourself, but you're busy with all kinds of nonsense in your life. Every day, just 10 minutes, remind yourself as intensely as possible your ignorance of yourself. Then slowly the pain will sink. When it becomes so painful that you can't bear it, knowing will not be far away, it's one moment. If I say, yes, you have a soul, but can you walk better? What use is the soul? Did they put any kind of utility to the soul? These two are useful. That other soul that they're talking about, is it of any use? It's of no use. So don't talk about it. And if I tell you it is there, what does it do to you? If I tell you, no, it doesn't exist, what does it do to you? Nothing, isn't it? Only thing is, the next dinner party that you go, you can entertain people around you talking about the soul. But as far as your existence is concerned, nothing changes, isn't it so? Yes? Nothing at all will change, isn't it? So if you're asking the question, fundamentally you're asking a question, what am I? Who am I? When you are here, are you alive? You're alive. When you're here alive, what is the way to know who you are? Is it not really ridiculous and insane that you must ask me, please tell me who am I? This is like two psychiatrists were walking on the Kovalam beach one day. One of them looked at the other up and down and said, you seem okay, how am I? This is just like that, isn't it? You're sitting here, you're alive, you're existing, and you're asking me, who am I, what am I? Is it not ridiculous? Very ridiculous, isn't it? Only thing is, the majority is with you. That's the only comfort which is not allowed you to know the pain of ignorance. You have a huge majority of people around you who are all saying, yes, this is the way to be. Yes? That is the only thing which has given you some comfort. Suppose you are the only man on the planet who does not know who you are, everybody else knows. You know how it would be for you? Yes? You don't know who you are, you're busy in the world. Does it make any sense or does it sound like madness? Insanity, isn't it? But the comfort is, you're in a huge asylum where everybody's like you. So your problem is, your existence itself right now is only in comparison with something else. You have no existence of yourself, please see. Right now, if you don't have something that everybody has nose. Suppose you did not have a nose. Actually, you can breathe better, you know. If you take off your nose, you will get 22% extra oxygen. You will be more healthy, everything will be better. But you know how you will suffer?
Alrighty, so right now this definitely seems quite interesting. That's like the best word that really just pops to the mind. Really interested in how he is kind of not wanting to answer the question. And also it's fascinating how he is ridiculing the question. At least with the awareness that I have, as well as the experience I've had with spirituality, which is all relatively, let's say, small, it is a pretty profound question, but I also see where he's coming from. Honestly, before I even share too much of what I think, in terms of what I understand and what I'm connecting to, I would love to continue this, and then at the end, hopefully I'll get more of a deeper understanding and connection with what he's saying. But so far, I really just… I'm not too sure about what exactly is happening. I have some ideas. If you know what's happening and you really connect with what's happening right now, then please comment down below what you are realizing from it. But as of now with me, it's something I'll have to learn more about. So let's get back into it.
Because everybody else has a nose? Yes or no? Or if you get something extra that other people don't have, you still suffer, isn't it? Suppose you grew one horn. You know how terrible it would be? But if everybody had a horn, then we would be polishing it and decorating it and, you know. Your very existence is in comparison. There is no existence of yourself.
These are good points.
Everything is in comparison. So, with that comfort, you're passing off without knowing the pain of not knowing. If you know the pain of not knowing who you are, then if you just see that I don't know anything about myself, tears will come. If it starts tearing you apart, knowing is not far away. It's very simple. It's very, very simple.
This is making more sense
because
now.
after all, you want to know what is within you, isn't it? Can what is within you be denied to you by anybody or anything? Do you need a passport to go within? Do you need a visa? To turn inward and know what's within, do you need somebody's…
Okay, so far what's really just connecting more and more now is this really idea on the importance of actually wanting to know, not just wanting to know for fun. That is what I'm really getting out of this so far. I'll explain more about what I'm getting at with that point, but let's continue.
Permission. Or can somebody stop you? Can any authority in the world stop you? No. So who is stopping you? Who could be stopping you? Only yourself. Nobody else but yourself. Nobody else is capable of stopping you, isn't it? So why are you stopping yourself? Simply because you made your whole existence outside of yourself. Your very existence is only in comparison with somebody. Because this has happened to you simply because the very nature of sense organs is like this. Because your experience of life is limited to sense perception, that is the reason why you're existing in comparison with somebody, not by yourself. Because sense organs are like this. If I touch this feels cool to me. This feels cool to me not because of the way the steel rod is, simply because of the way my body temperature is. If I lower my body temperature and touch this would be warm to me. Yes? Is it so? If I lower my body temperature to -100 and touch this would be red hot to me. Is it so? So your very basic experience of life, because it is limited to sense perception, everything is in comparison. So your very existence has become in comparison. If this has to change, philosophies and teachings are not going to change this fundamental reality. If your experience of life transcends the limitations of sense perception, suddenly everything is different. When we initiated you into Shambhavi, if you gave yourself to the process, it could easily take you beyond sense perception. Many of you going into moments where you are no more within your sense perception, something else is beginning to happen. Anything new happens, your mind is such, it knows only fear. Even if you walk into heaven, you will know only fear because it's something that you do not know. You have conditioned yourself like this. But if you allow it to happen, you will see, you will start experiencing a dimension which is beyond sense perception. Only when your experience of life moves beyond sense perception, then your experience of life is absolute, not in comparison with something else. Then your experience of life has transcended the limitations of the physical. Then you have created an atmosphere to know who the hell you are. You better know who the hell you are. Otherwise, anything that you do is of no consequence.
Alrighty. First off, before I start, I would love to hear what you think about this video in the comments down below. So, it was beautiful, and it's something I've noticed with regards to the pattern of Sadhguru in terms of answering questions. He will at times initially start by ridiculing the question, which I think is fair because he wants to put into perspective, and adding that sense of humor as well as ridicule will really shed light as to how silly it can be, at least when viewed at a certain angle. But what he tries to encourage is you looking into it more deeply, and it's really just not even thinking about it, but it's really wanting to have a deeper sense of curiosity. Something where, like he said, it's a throbbing curiosity where your whole system is just really wanting to know, not just, oh, I wonder what the weather is today. Is that really significant? I mean, it can be, but the point is, it's very silly and very surface level. He wants you to really be in depth with that, to truly be one with the question in a way. And so it was beautiful how he first started off by talking about the ridiculing aspect of how the questionnaire should really examine his existence in the sense that you really want to be one with this whole idea of I don't know. You see, I don't know is a very powerful statement, as he says and talks about all the time. Whether you believe in something or disbelieve in something, both don't give you the real experience and the real truth. So whether you're a believer or an atheist, just as an example of religion, doesn't mean much because you both don't know. And so the important realization here is just to say, I don't know. It's a human egoic mind that wants to jump into these conclusions about this is why this happened, or if you don't understand something, then no way this is true. So really just to put those things aside, tying this all into the serious question of who I am, I loved how he was able to touch upon this whole idea of who you're not. Basically, as he says, our existence is really just aligned with the sensory receptors. For instance, I'm the body, I am the mind. The mind, as he says, and as I've learned from experiences, is really just a reflection of all of the inputs that come in from the outside. And so, honestly, a lot of things that we know and we learn, or we even think we have as a profound realization, is not even truly unique, and it's really just coming out from the outside. And a lot of the times it's staying in the subconscious level where we think we're having this deep realization or deep idea or something really unique, but it's really just coming from the subconscious, which is a reflection of the outside. And the body, which we're so identified with, for example, these are my hands, this is my hair, this is my face. Again, that's all relative experience. Because at the end, as Sadhguru talks about it, with regards to temperature, for instance, we only feel a certain sense of heat or cold because our temperature is different from the system on the outside that we're touching. Another example is even this whole idea of light and darkness. Owls, and I could be wrong here, so correct me if I'm wrong, will see the light during the night, and then during the day it's dark. And so it's such a relative experience, and that's the sight that's out there. So really, where he goes into bringing into this direction, because again, he never directly answers questions. He always likes to, or he prefers to shed directions, and these directions will help give you more of a actual experiencing of the answer, not just a blind answer. Here's the answer and swallow the pill. No, he wants you to experience it, which is why he gives you directions and not a straight up answer. And so where he pretty much ends off, at least from what I got out of this, is really just the idea of how we need to step beyond the physical. And how do we do that? That's where he isn't too clear, and that's where I will hopefully shed some clarity here. And it's really just the idea of how you want to try something different of a meditative path, whether it's something like Vipassana, whether it's something like Shambhavi Mahamudra, which is inner engineering. These are all methods and tools which will help you to really experience that non-physical. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you taking this time. Would love to hear what you think, and if anything of what I said did make sense or didn't make sense, you connected with, didn't connect with, just comment down below. And if you have any other video requests, also comment that down below. And with that, make a great day, take it joyfully, and stay conscious. Ecstasy, y'all.